Assalamu alaikum, Tufayl.
Walaikum salam, Ejaz. How are you doing, man?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. What are we doing here?
To be honest, I think that's something that we're here to discuss. I think we're here to speak about why we're here today.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you and I have shared a space or a platform, so it's always been good when we have. So I'm sure whatever we are here to speak about is good.
Yeah. Just to give you guys some history, Tufayl and I worked together previously at a radio station for many years, and we co-hosted some of the best radio. And as a team, I think we always clicked. We always had this thing where we could make our puns and dare jokes and all of these things. Dry humor, as some would say, but lots of like fun discussions we had, and we always clicked. So we thought, you know what, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's do something different.
I think it's necessary, nowadays, to just break away from that stereotypical type of content that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've seen that through the years that we've, co-hosted together on the different platforms. And people enjoy certain types of content, right? Whether it be more spiritual, whether it be more serious, untackling or unpacking rather, social issues and whatnot. And it's important, and there's a space for it. But there's also a huge necessity for people to just laugh and move on and enjoy life from the lighter aspect of it, and also understand life through humor, through jokes, through just mitigating all of the negativities.
Yeah. It's like life feels very heavy nowadays.
Yeah.
And there's lots in terms of current affairs that affects your heart and your space and your mindset. So we thought we need to come up with something that would give people an alternative, that they'd be able to have a break from the norms of daily life and the heaviness of daily life. So this is what we came up with. What's the name of our show? Just let them know.
It's the coolest show on earth.
It's definitely the coolest show on earth. So the coolest show on earth will be tackling many topics that you find interesting, that you might not find elsewhere. And of course, it will be intertwined with skits and lots of funny things coming in between that will just leave you wanting for more.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the gist of it. Firstly, the show names itself and describes itself.
Yeah.
if we do say so ourselves, we identify as the coolest hosts on earth, of the coolest show on earth. So that's basically that. And I think it comes at a time where we know that, life is real. We deal with the real aspects of life constantly, but there's no running away from it. Things are going to be serious. We're going to be sitting with our doubts at certain things. We're going to be sitting with our sadness, with our pains, with our struggles. Whatever weighs us down is always going to be there. And this is for every individual. It's as real as it gets for them. So why consume something outside of all of what you're facing in your reality, in your life, in your day-to-day activities? Why consume something that just exacerbates it? Why not consume something, media-wise, that's just going to add a bit of a different spin on things? Things happen in the world, and we're here to sort of get to the nuts and bolts of what can make that lighthearted. Why? Because if you can laugh at something, you're over it. Now, I've never seen anyone, who can crack a joke about something or laugh at something and it's horrific to them. But the more you face it with seriousness, the more you scrutinize it, the more you wallow in its darkness, I think that's when it becomes overwhelming. We don't get overwhelmed by lightheartedness. The word is there. It's in the word, it's light. It's supposed to warm your heart just a little bit so that you can breathe a bit easier tomorrow.
And as South Africans, I think our default setting is to laugh things off, because there's so much happening all the time that if you don't laugh, you're going to cry. Yeah. So I think that's why we deal with things the way we do. And I think that's how we're going to build on that strength and have you guys as our audience and being with us along this journey.
Yeah, and ultimately we're only as good as the guys on the other end listening to us and interacting with us and keeping us going. There's things out there that are happening in the world. Bring it to our attention. Drop us a message. Let us know. Drop us a comment so that we know what's happening in the real world when it comes to more the social issues and what people need discussed, what needs airing out. And obviously we have a list of, I think, topics that we want to dive into as well. And knowing that obviously people recognize us, Ejaz, from the background that we were once associated with, without going into details on air. Do we still call it on air, on data?
No, on Wi-Fi, I don't know.
On the net. There's obviously a lot less censorship involved, less guidelines, less things that we have to, sort of pay attention to. So we can really get down into a lot of vast, undiscovered, uncharted terrains. And I think that's going to be exciting because there's a lot that needs to be spoken about in detail, and it needs to be unpacked in funny detail at that also. And I think we can find a space to do that here.
There's Trump in the news as always, Biden losing his marbles. There's just so much we can talk about, light-hearted stuff. So it will be a mixture of everything, right, Tufayl?
It will. It definitely will. I think the aim for us here, Ejaz, is, again, to speak to the people, to speak at what the people want. And ideally, I think it's a mixture of everything. I think the coolest show on earth is premised on the fact that there will be an episode for everyone. So if you want to know what's happening in the news, but you need it to be explained to you so you can grab a chuckle in here and there, it's not all, this morning, 70 people faced severity. We don't want to be drawn into that heaviness, A lot of times when you watch news platforms or you read articles, there's so much of, I don't know, like heaviness to it. I'll give you an example. When COVID sort of faced us, right? And we've emerged from that, it's been a few years. I went into serious depression almost because, there was some heavy stuff occurring there, It was quite a time for us to face. And if you continue to consume information in that manner, I think a lot of people will face that, where you just now want to be oblivious to the world, and you have people that seem as if they're living under a rock purely because they don't want to face information with the doom and gloom that it comes with. So we're going to be touching on what's current, what's happening, and also the social issues, EJ. There's a lot of stuff happening that people are doing.
The people out there give us the best content. And it's just by doing the silly things they do. And, we'll be talking about stuff that normally would maybe slip under the radar of the news and all of these things. And we'll focus more on the light side of things. And we'll bring you, I'm actually looking forward to us making those skits. And it's going to be hilarious, man. We've got some great ideas. And finally, I think it's like takdir that our paths have crossed.
Yeah.
And shout out to Stachi for giving us that, bringing us, just reminding.
Planting the seed.
Yeah, planting the seed basically to say, guys, make it happen. And here we are.
Yeah, I think it's a push that we both have sort of toyed with, in that space of what should we do? What do we need? How can we benefit? Not ourselves, how do we benefit the community rather? And do something other than just for ourselves, but for people to sort of, just take a load off. And I think a lot of the ideas stem from just that, as you rightfully spoke about. It comes from the people. It comes from, the things that are happening that people need to sort of see in a different light. It's one thing to get lectured. It's one thing to read constant heavy information or look at the WhatsApp. The WhatsApps, I think, for me are going to be a jackpot or a gold mine of content. Mm-hmm. Just look at the latest BC about what's not factual, and that'll be a topic on its own. But it's to break away from that. And people deserve a space that is safe. People need a safe space nowadays, but a light space, not to be shielded by everything, but to be able to face everything with the protection of, listen, these guys are chill, they're going to handle it with the way it needs to be handled. We're not here to brush things off, we're not here to sweep things under the rug. We're here to tackle it, and we're here to then laugh about it. We're here to laugh about tackling it. We're here to, how do you combine laugh and tackle? I don't think there is a way. Lackle? Taff? Tickle?
No, I'm not going to even try.
That's basically it.
Yeah, so lots to come up in the weeks and months and years ahead.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So the coolest show on earth, make sure you are part of it. And like we mentioned, that you guys are going to be such a big part in this journey and part of, making it happen. So there'll be interactive discussions as we go along. And yeah.
And I think we're gearing up to the lives, Ejaz. I think that's something that has always worked well for us to get into action in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the goal moving forward, that eventually we're going to be able to speak to you one-on-one while things are happening. You can drop us a message, drop us a comment on, what's on your mind, what you can relate to the topics that we will be unpacking. And I think that's where, we want to be. So for now, give us the comments that you have, the thoughts that you have on the topics that we will be unpacking in the episodes to come. And yeah, be there with us. Spend this journey with us. That's what it's there for. It's not for us to be on camera, is it? Because it's just a ploy for us to, kickstart a modeling career that we never saw coming.
Any brands, Hugo Boss, all you guys, drop us a line. We're available.
We'll strut our stuff, so to speak.
And your product people are always trying to reach us, literally.
It's probably about your car's extended warranty.
Or Vodacom, one of those spam calls that we just can't get rid of.
The most weird thing is the evolution of telesales communications people. Like, there's no tact anymore.
None at all. In fact, they would... Sometimes, I don't know about you, Tufayl, but I'll see it will be literally through call will be saying spam, and I'm like, what if it's not? And then I answer the call, and it is, and I'm like, why? Maybe sometimes the guy's name is their H. Makwanazi or something. I'm like, oh, he sounds like someone I should know. And no, it's absolutely no reason to answer that call.
The signs were there, Ejaz.
The signs were there.
That's on you.
The flags were reading.
I just find how their interactions have changed. Like, we're here to speak to you today about, contract package. I'm like, not interested at the moment. But you haven't heard what I said. That's because I'm not interested at the moment. Like,
You must try.
Stop harassing me.
You must flip the switch. Start asking them questions.
Yeah.
Saying how you like them apples now. Like,
I think it's a good one. Start selling them our products. Like,
yeah. Have you heard of the coolest show on earth?
Yeah.
You should.
Go and follow now. Go and follow. No pressure, but follow.
We'll also talk about...
I think if we let off too much information from the get-go, there's going to be no surprise factor.
Leave
I think we just need to encapsulate that this is the show that you have to watch. Why? Because it's the show for you. Why? Because it's the show by you. Why? Because it's a show, and it's the coolest show on earth. I think that sort of just sums up the reasons for them to...
Yes, reason enough.
I think that's reason enough. If someone had to tell me, listen, you've got to taste the best dish on earth, I'm like, that's enough said. This is the best dish on earth. It's you've got to try it. Like, there's no reason not to. You don't need to be enticed more if it's the best. No?
Definitely. And we're going to look to cater for all ages, all different demographics. Everyone's going to have a part in this show in terms of finding something that they love about it. And that's going to be the best part for us.
Yeah, I think creating content for everyone that speaks to everyone and that deals with the experiences that everyone's going to undergo or has undergone, things that people can relate to, things that people will encounter at some point, things that people have been accustomed to but haven't perhaps quite understood. There's a lot to unpack there. There's so many new things that are sort of coming into existence nowadays, like new professions, AI. There's new types of people. If you look at even content creators, I mean, like there's the era of the influencer, and this type of person.
You can have lots of fun with the
celebrities and
subject.
I don't know, people who just there's just a lot happening. Even in general society, home industry has a lot of good, but there's also a dark side to home industry.
What is that?
I know, but we will find out when we deal with that one. But this death is always a dark side.
I can just picture the Papa aunties like, what do they mean?
Oh no, they're on to us. Back up.
Another cool thing is that where have you seen on a podcast this happen?
I think it is time. It's time to ease into it in some way.
Yeah, because when you watch like podcast, everyone seems a bit stuff. Everyone is not at ease. They like discussing serious stuff. Trying to maintain their video presence. But we don't care about all that, man.
It's always about. So how did that make you feel as you were growing up?
And then tears and but we're gonna do things different. We're gonna chill.
We have to. We want people to chill and watch this. We don't want people to just be like on edge. Oh my goodness, this is so heart-wrenching. It's making me think about something that happened so many years ago. Now I'm going to think about it all night and play it in my head on loop because this triggered a semi-traumatic or fully traumatic event. No. This is about chilling, living in the moment, knowing what's happening around us and sharing it in the lightest way possible.
And people are able to listen and view this at any time. So it's not, restricted or constrained to a certain time that you have to be tuned in.
Yeah.
So that's going to work out nicely. So different family members able to listen at different times. And then, of course, when they meet up for their supper, and then it can be a discussion around the table as they break their bread.
Definitely. I think if you don't catch the episode when it's released, you can catch it on the day that you have some free time.
Indeed.
And if you don't have time to watch us, you can just play the audio on your daily commute to wherever it is that you may be going. You can listen to that audio and enjoy it with us.
Yeah. So I think we've explained it nicely thus far. So this is probably going to be the most serious episode.
Yeah.
Just introing, letting you guys know what it's all about. But this is so much to come that I'm excited. Tufayl and I, at weird hours of the morning, evening, and afternoon, whatever, it's like we think up ideas and, hey, put this on our list because we got a list of all the skits we want to do, all the topics we want to tackle. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be a wonderful journey, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Jazakallah khaira.
Jazakallah for letting me be part of it.
We both have a part in it, so let's thank each other.
Thanks.
And to the viewers as well for always having supported us through the years, through the many endeavors that we've done together, and inshallah continuing on a new journey with us, on a new platform, one that's solely ours now, and being there, being part of being the driving force behind it. We use you guys for content, basically.
But in the best possible way. Nicest possible.
Still using them. Give us things to speak about. Do stuff.
Do weird things.
And tell us about it. There's one particular page in particular that I know is going to be... I was thinking about it and the amount of conversations. Oh... I just hope we can keep all of them PG-13.
Yeah, we've got to behave. I think we'll try to behave. We'll try.
And I think a last thing that we've got to add is a disclaimer to this particular episode. We've mentioned that obviously people have associated us with a different platform, different stations, different media houses in the past. And that is the past, so to speak. We currently have no real association with our pasts, and our pasts have no association with us. So we don't reflect them, they don't reflect us, kind of thing. And I think that's just something to keep in mind, that the views should not coincide, interweave, exist as one. They should be, I think, viewed separately, because I know there's always those people that are, this guy is from the, and they, what? I'm going to tell everyone. Everyone else is just like, well, we know. And then it's just always a few people that will just be a bit iffy about it. Yeah. That's the disclaimer, basically. What we say isn't to be listened to or heard or misconstrued in any way or associated in any way with anything else. What happens here stays here.
What happens on the coolest show on earth stays.
Yeah, it should, rightfully so.
Coolest show. So that's it for our intro. We'll be back, inshallah, in future editions with much more flavor and juice for you guys. So for now, how do we end off though?
I think we've got to do that ever so stereotypical thing that a lot of content producers do. Be sure to hit that like, follow, and subscribe button.
And then you need to put that.
It needs to be there somewhere.
It comes and go, that sound effect to say ding, subscribe.
Yes. It's good. It's got to, in some way, like pop up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Like, subscribe, or yeah, somewhere.
Maybe in this general space, if we
Somewhere.
could.
Not yeah, somewhere. I would think. Then you'll put it in there, and I look like a magician just doing this.
Perhaps we could play around.
What could
with
do it
that.
like this?
Serve it. You've been served.
Which way will the thingy move? This way?
I think this way. That'll probably go off screen.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong camera.
I can see the end there.
Yeah. So we will learn and adjust as we go along. So bear with us. We're new to this. We're not new to talking. We can talk like for days.
Yeah.
But now, like, more structured, more.
There's elements.
Visual.
There's no one playing a jingle like, oh guys, 3, 2, 1, the jingle's over, start speaking, and then cut to commercials and ad breaks and whatever else. We need an ending.
Like a closing line.
Yeah, like the last thing that's said before like the screen goes off us.
The coolest show on earth. It's out of this world.
And then it's like,
And then
maybe
like
a spaceship
like a
or something.
globe comes and just moves away or something.
Yeah.
Something.